Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Tuesday, July 1st, right? Yesterday's video I thought I put up, but I hadn't, but it's up there today. So you get a double whammy. So, what's today's video on? Today's video on is sometimes just doing it, girls, doesn't make you successful. It doesn't. Doing the right things will make you successful. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and yes, this is a weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. So, it's a hard topic because when people listen to other people, they take what they can use and leave the rest. And I'm no different. And I've also been considered hard-headed and unwilling to just do it. I kind of have to make it my own. But in doing so, if there's a proven recipe for success, why would you want to change it? And the key thing is I could sit here for the next 10 hours and explain to you every step there is to becoming successful at business and still forget stuff that I had to do that caused me to become successful. Now, I can replicate what I did there anywhere, and even in things in life that I want to be a better husband, I want to be a better dad, I want to be everything that I've learned in business will work on the other side, right? But sometimes working from the other side towards business doesn't work. And that's kind of an oxymoron, right? But I've seen people, some people think that the way to become successful is to put your heart and soul into it and bust your ass and just go nonstop. You're only correct part way. When I first started the business and growing it, yes, I was working 16, 18-hour days, 7 days a week. So that part of the is truthful. Is you're going to put in a lot of time, but that's only part of it. It's putting it in the right places. I've seen people look really busy and not get anywhere, right? They're going through the motions, but they're not spending and doing things they should be doing when they should be doing it. And the biggest thing I see is people get either tired of waiting and skip steps so that they can get successful quicker, only to have it crumble because they got in too big of a hurry. The timing wasn't ready yet. And I'll tell you, timing is everything. It is. If I tried to start that same parts business today, in today's environment, it would be totally different than when I was doing it when people weren't selling online. You see what I'm saying? I saw ahead of the direction it was going, and I said, let me get ahead of this. And that's how a lot of people capitalize on things. It's the same way with any business, unless you're talking like restaurants, cafes, and all those you can't just have good food, right? And good beverages. You need more than that. You need to make that a place where people enjoy to come and visit and stay and have them tell their friends. And it's even better if you can get your core group every morning for coffee, or same group at lunchtime or dinner time. But you have to have customers coming all the time to make that business successful, right? And in the beginning, when you open the doors, if nobody knows of you, it's kind of hard, right? It's slow. You can envision being very busy, but at that present time, you're not very busy, right? Because the customers haven't started showing up yet that even know you exist. So while you have time, when you don't have a lot of people coming in and out of your cafe or what have you, you spend that time figuring out how to advertise and get word out to others that you even exist. Come up with creative ways. Time is money, money is time. If you have a lot of money, you can pay a marketer to go out and do all this for you. If you don't, guess what? You're going to have to learn how to figure out how to get people to come to your establishment. See, being energetic is only part of being successful. You can be energetic and be the worst business person out there and be very unsuccessful. If that makes any sense. The other thing I see, and this is with you older shops, just like ours, hey, is if you become stagnant. And what do I mean by stagnant? I mean if you're not coming up with new ways to attract more customers. Because as you go year after year after year, your customer base is getting older and you need fresh blood to come in and replace that. And Cloud and I are no different. We've seen probably in the past year we've lost more of our customers because they've passed on than what we added on. So I'm looking at getting fresh young people coming so that we'll outlive them. See? You gotta think positive. But it's so true. I see a lot of mom and pop businesses that are people in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s and on that keep doing the same thing because it was successful for them at one point in time, but haven't realized that they need to step up their game, or you need to step up your game and come up with more creative ways to get people in. And that's social media, guys. That's the key, is let people know you're there. I have a friend that has a restaurant. It's a diner. And every morning she's up at 3 o'clock in the morning and she's posting what the daily menu, the dish of the day is. And always energetic. But she's like me. She's a morning person. But it's a family-run business and they put out good food. But you could have the greatest food out there and the greatest staff and nobody coming because they don't know you exist, right? So she's pretty good at social media. She uses Facebook. She has a Facebook page, business page for the diner, and she posts every morning, just like clockwork. And she's got enough people, including myself, that share her post. That's another thing. It's one thing to get somebody to click on your post. It's even better if they decide they're going to share it for you. That's saying that they give you the thumbs up. So you have to come up with creative ways to become successful and then stay successful. If you don't, next thing you know, things are going to change and now you're lonely on the totem pole instead of the top dog out there. It all depends upon how you approach things. It's like a recipe that's already proven, like we talked about yesterday. If you just follow the freaking directions, right down to the ounces, your bread should turn out pretty good. And it did. It's delicious, by the way. But I kept trying to make it my own by adding or skipping or this or that, and it kept coming out terrible. And I was getting frustrated, and for getting frustrated for the wrong reasons. I was getting frustrated because how could this not turn out? I mean, it turns out for some people I know are not bakers, but they had good bread. And here I am, busting my hump, flour everywhere, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, and I can't even get one loaf of bread to turn out. It's because I wasn't following directions. Simple as that. I wasn't doing it the right way. It wasn't because of a lack of energy and trying to commit myself into making a great loaf of bread, because I was. I was busy. I was real busy. But being real busy doesn't make good bread. Doing it a proven way makes good bread, and giving it time. So in the comments, what do you guys think when it comes to being successful? What are you doing if you're still in business to stay on top? Are you capitalizing on social media? Do you market a lot? But I've seen people bust their nuts trying to make their business successful and then end up with crickets in the end. And then sit there scratching their head and getting discouraged and everything else because they're putting in the time, but nothing is happening. And the thing is, it's not just putting in the time, it's putting the time in the right places, right? You have to look at your business and be honest with yourself and say, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? And then start brainstorming, how can I get from here to there? And then fine tune it to a couple different things that you could be doing, and then put that energy into those couple things instead of a shotgun scatter pattern, hoping that something sticks to the wall, right? So being busy is not going to make you successful. It's going to make you tired. Plain and simple. You can bust your hump, work 7 days a week, 16, 18-hour days, and if you're not focused in the right direction in the right places, it's just wasted energy. Unless you're on a weight loss program and you're just trying to stay busy to lose weight. That happens too, because then you stop eating a lot. You're right on the go constantly, and it's a proven weight loss program. So if you don't find you're successful in business, at least you'll be later. Huh? But that's so true about anything in life. It's putting your energy in the right location. I talked about my first after getting out of the ICU. And that's basically, if you don't know, it's things that when I was laying there and I had a lot of time to think of things that I hoped that I'd be able to do again. So I started this game inside myself of my first. And every time I did something since surgery, I called it my first. And I found that instead of, one of the things that was lacking in my life was doing enjoyable things because I was always busy, all right? And I never had time. And I always put enjoyable things off for another day because there were always projects, right? And there will always be projects. But what's changed since November is instead of thinking about them and putting them off, I just do it. If I think about going fishing, instead of putting it off for another day, go fishing. There's nobody stopping you. And you'll find that it recharges the batteries when you're doing stuff that you enjoy doing. And that goes for business as well. All work and no play ain't going to cut it either, because you'll burn yourself out. You need to find your quiet place where your mind can kind of regenerate, your body can feel fulfilled, and that may be spending time with family members. It may be having a cup of coffee on your back porch, watching the sunrise or sunset. Could be going on a trip, could be camping, I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But that needs to be part of it. And that's one thing that was lacking as I was building the business is I wasn't doing things that I enjoyed doing. And I'll tell you, it was a grind. I got to the point where I hated it because that's all I thought about. Even in my sleep, I think I was dreaming of ways to come up with how to sell more product. Money does not define success. Amos, it doesn't. Money you can use as a gauge whether you're making money or losing money to deem you're successful, right? But in the end, money is not going to define it. It's, did you enjoy the journey getting there? Did you have time to enjoy being on top before you toppled over? And did you take the time to let your employees know how appreciative you were of them for everything they've done along the way? And did you show gratitude to your customers and the people coming to your establishment? Those are all good things to think about if you haven't. You know, what I find is, and I'm kind of a different person. My customers are my friends. Every customer I have, I make a friend, all right? And I am interested in how they're doing, their family's doing, how they survived the winter in Florida, you know. And I'm not asking these questions or listening because I think it's a way to get more customers. It's because I enjoy people. I honestly do. But if you take time to take an interest in someone else, they will notice. Don't do it just because I'm telling you this is the way to increase business. I'm telling you, if you take an interest in your customers, you learn what their first names are at the minimum. When they walk through that door, if you need to know what their first name is and make them feel special, they will keep coming back. If you remember their first names and you're an arrogant SOB, probably not. That's only part of the puzzle, right? And that's what business is. It's not all one thing. You still need to make it your own to a certain extent so that you can push through it. But there's too many proven ways to build your business on a solid foundation and have it grow from that. If you don't build a solid foundation, a good concrete slab to put your building on, what's going to happen? It's going to start crumbling because the foundation isn't solid. So on that note, you guys have a great Tuesday. We'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning for another day of the weekday. Enjoy, guys.